What if I told you that the secret to happiness isn't found in fame, fortune, or power, but in something much simpler? What if the key to a life of peace and joy was laughter? This is the story of three monks, three mysterious men who traveled the ancient roads of China, spreading joy and peace wherever they went. They had no names, no homes, and no words. All they carried with them was their laughter. But that laughter, it changed the lives of everyone who heard it. Our story begins long ago, in a small village nestled between the mountains. It was a quiet place where people worked hard and lived simple lives, but something was missing: joy. Laughter was a rare sound, and smiles were few and far between. One day, three strange men appeared at the gates of this village. They wore simple, tattered robes and had no belongings. The only thing that made them stand out was the way they laughed. It was a deep, hearty laugh, and it never stopped. As they walked through the village, they laughed and laughed, filling the air with the sound of their joy. At first, the villagers were puzzled. Who were these strange men? Why were they laughing? There was no festival, no celebration. What could possibly be so funny? Some villagers thought the monks were mad. Others believed they must be fools, laughing at nothing. But no matter how puzzled or annoyed the villagers were, the monks kept laughing. They stood in the middle of the marketplace where the villagers sold their goods and laughed for hours. And slowly, something strange happened. As the villagers watched these three men laugh, they started to feel a change within themselves. First, it was just a small smile, a twitch of the lips. Then, the butcher, who had never laughed in years, started to chuckle. The farmer wiped a tear from his eye and began to laugh out loud. Before long, the entire village was laughing. They didn't know why, but it felt good. It was as if the laughter had broken something heavy in their hearts. As days passed, the monks remained in the village. Every day they returned to the center of town and laughed. They laughed in the morning when the sun rose, and they laughed in the evening as the moon took its place in the sky. They didn't speak a single word, yet their laughter said more than words ever could. The villagers began to anticipate their laughter. They looked forward to it, and slowly the laughter became part of their routine. People who had once been too busy or too tired to laugh found themselves joining the monks, standing beside them in the marketplace, laughing for no reason at all. The laughter spread beyond the marketplace. Children started to laugh more. Families shared moments of joy at the dinner table. People who had once been strangers began to greet each other with smiles. The village felt lighter, as if a great weight had been lifted from their hearts. The laughter wasn't just a momentary distraction from the hardships of life. It was a reminder. It reminded the villagers that joy didn't come from money, success, or the approval of others. It came from within, from the simple act of living in the moment. One day, an elderly villager, who had been watching the monks closely, approached them. His face was wrinkled with age, and his eyes were filled with curiosity. "Why do you laugh?" he asked. "What is the meaning of your laughter?" But the monks only smiled and laughed even harder. The wise old man thought for a long moment, then began to laugh as well. He realized that there was no answer, no secret to unlock. The monks' laughter was the answer itself, an invitation to let go of the seriousness that weighed down their hearts. The monks stayed in the village for many weeks. Every day they laughed, and every day the villagers laughed with them. But one day, something unexpected happened. One of the monks, the oldest among them, sat down beneath a large tree in the center of the village. He smiled one last time, and then, without a word, he passed away. The villagers were shocked. They gathered around the monk's body, whispering in sorrow. Death had come, and with it, they expected the laughter to stop. Surely now, the remaining two monks would mourn. Surely this was a time for tears, not laughter. But to the villagers' surprise, the two remaining monks didn't cry. In fact, they laughed even harder than before. Their laughter echoed through the village, louder and more joyful than it had ever been. The villagers were confused. How could they laugh when their friend had just died? Didn't they care? Didn't they feel sadness? They approached the monks and asked, "Why do you laugh? Your friend has just passed away. Shouldn't you be mourning?" The monks looked at each other, still smiling, and nodded. "He has completed his journey," one of them said. "He laughed all the way to the end. Why should we be sad when he lived with so much joy?" To the monks, death was not a tragedy. It was simply the next step in life's journey. Their friend had lived fully, laughing until his very last breath. What greater gift could there be? The villagers didn't understand right away, but slowly, the lesson sank in. Death was not something to be feared or mourned. It was simply part of the cycle of life. And laughter. Laughter was the best way to celebrate both life and death. From that day on, the villagers looked at life a little differently. They realized that joy wasn't something to be sought in material things or achievements. It wasn't something to be chased after or earned. Joy was already there, within them, waiting to be embraced. The monks stayed for a few more days, continuing their laughter until it was time for them to move on. They packed up and left the village as quietly as they had arrived, but their laughter remained. Even after they were gone, the sound of joy echoed in the hearts of the villagers. And so the story of the three laughing monks spread far and wide. People all across the land began to understand the simple truth of their message. Life is full of moments, both happy and sad, but we always have the choice to laugh. Laughter is the key to happiness. Not because it solves all of our problems, but because it reminds us that life, in all its complexity, is a gift to be celebrated, a gift to be enjoyed. The next time you find yourself overwhelmed by life, remember the three laughing monks. When you face stress, disappointment, or even loss, take a deep breath and laugh, because in the end, laughter is the purest form of Zen. Thank you for joining me in this story. If this brought a smile to your face, share it with someone who needs a reminder to laugh. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Zen stories and inspiration.